1197, built by Keith, one word, on October the 17th, 2023. We're back at Carl Sandburg's home, and we're showing the only system in world history to unify 8 billion we the people. We went back by Henderson First United Methodist Church. We went by to visit the Charlotte mayor, the Asheville, North Carolina mayor, Esther Mannheimer, on everything we've done. And here's the only solution that matters, is every leader in the entire world will be treated only as a highly paid project manager using Evote.one and an open public database, FOIA.ONE. So we finally get rid of the 6,600-year-old system of slave trading that caused now 90% of world poverty. And the whole answer is actually quite simple. This is the direct Evote.one that is GodsCrusade.org, finally completed. Number one, you can go read it yourself, is that we pick the leader. 2 is we replace them. 3 is we use PeaceSummit2020.com to actually deal with all of our own local issues. And 4 is we control their pay. So the last line is the most critical. We control all decisions of all government and corporate executives with a single open public database of no secrets, FOIA.ONE. And we do call it Eden, which is Ecology, Divinity, Education Network. And it goes all the way back to this list of solutions based upon PeaceSummit2020.com. There it is on the top. A perfected no-crime utopia of UNIocracy.org. So here's the top-level solutions that benefit 8.1 billion people. And the weirdest thing that ever happened was that we had already asked the USA government to protect our lives against one international cyber criminal, Robert D. Rose. It's at DuncanClaim.org, which is the most powerful public scandal destruction of your new world, UNIocracy.org. Because we had all this way back in 1976. Proof of funds, which is what everyone requires, is Keith2022.com. We're the only group of very wealthy multi-billionaires who are, hats off, we're the ultimate white hats. And we're the only group of givingpledge.space who's using reinvestall.com, that every corporate executive in the world will no longer have those most precious golden handcuff perks of stock options, corporate aircraft, fully paid expenses, reverse accruals happen to be the worst, and corporate bonuses. Who gave them authority to pay themselves? Clearly themselves. My health is rapidly failing, but nobody cares. Have everyone call Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, because it is under his jurisdiction, and host press conferences of PeaceSummit2020.com while the local FBI director, J.C. Hacker, and Attorney General Chris Carr actually sit down and meet with Keith Duncan and the rest of my teams and take down one of the worst cybercrime terrorist groups in American world history, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. You see, the mafia is a real group of people, and they are all mafia. Robert D. Rose, Douglas Vernon Duncan, directly tied to Alexander Cyclone Covey, who's an attorney, AgileLaw.com, which is a cybercrime attack group, and Barry Victor Reynolds, who's now back as Cobb County District Attorney. No, he's the Cobb County Judge. He was the District Attorney, and he's the one I paid $6,000 to get Cobb County TPO 11.1.1171 dismissed, canceled on July 15th, 2011. So there was no legal reason for me to be arrested on a $500 bond for a 2-line LinkedIn email I never sent, Then they used a video that would have put Rose in prison, claiming that that was used to create Cobb County TPO 7683. And then 5 days later, Rose said the same video never shown in court was a violation. So after I'm kidnapped brutally October 3rd, 2011, still critical, pay attention, they bumped it to $50,000 bond. But it didn't matter. For 4 months, which is the 3-month speedy trial law, they decide that I'm released. But no, I've got a cancel restraining order. Oh, that was a solution gun control, which you'll find on this list that I already had. That'll be the most massive reduction in gun violence in world history. These are the other solutions. And we even have Department of Social Justice that'll compress, literally collapse and reform every bit of the Department of Social Justice. The other ones are like Amber Protect, Community Crime Watch, which is how to solve any local problem. It's CCW Guard right near my finger. And then we also have Interpolice.online, which replaces Interpol. We have a simple system of unlimited communication for free, unlimited water, unlimited electricity, so we'll no longer ever have a dark ages. That's under turnofflights.com and Solution Water. And it's all about we control the water and we control the energy. So exactly a year ago, I'm sitting in Carl Sandburg's chair behind here, and I'm sitting in what used to be the fountain at the front, and I even have this. This is a laser. This is a very nice little laser. I won't burn my screen up, but you can see I don't want to point it at my camera. This was originally Solution Red Dot, where everyone can carry a green or red laser and pinpoint, really from about a quarter mile away, a potential hazardous spot. You're not harming someone. And laser tunnel is how we're going to drill through the mountains and drill up to store massive amounts of water to generate not gigawatts, terawatts of free electricity on demand. And once Solution Military returns all the military around the world back under our civilian control as National Guard, all the existing nuclear stockpiles and nuclear aircraft carriers existing will be converted back to humanitarian support, and we no longer build trillion-dollar weaponry system. I'm the #1 peacemaker in world history, just like Carl Sandburg was. This was originally SolutionRedDot.com, which is part of how to identify the risky people, but it's also how to identify the cyber criminals. Any executive, any government person around the world will now be put in prison for violating GodsConstitution.org. And we'll pull that up here. Where do I have it? Well, I had it a long time ago. You'll find it, Solution. I think it's in my bag over here. But here's the key person we're talking to right now. Oh, I'm blocking my camera. It's right there. Esther Manheim. And this proves that we were in Asheville yesterday. Today's Tuesday, October the 17th. So exactly 12 years ago, we're being transported from Las Vegas, Lost Wages, which is Tom Haag, H-A-A-G. He's listed purely at solutiondrugs.com. He'll be now a multimillionaire. And so will you be a multimillionaire simply by mediating town hall forums. And in my bag here, I'm going to pull it out. Maybe I didn't bring it. I've got teammoneymachine.com. I didn't bring a copy, which is how anyone can create their own small business. Now imagine a world of only credit unions. Everyone's going to use my patents, by the way. $40 billion worth. It's actually worth more. Everyone's going to be their own small business owner. When everyone's busy helping building great infrastructure for their community, you're not going to have taxes. You're not going to have crime. And it's all about creating small businesses. You do not want the government to be in charge of creating new jobs. It's stupid, because that's just the tax base. And the scary part is very simple. If you count up all your taxes, 140, you're paying 50 to 60% of your income directly out to taxes. Will you ever see those taxes again? 15% of your paycheck, I don't care if you're 1099 or W-2, immediately goes through the government and goes into a senior citizen payout called Social Security Medicaid, which is more than that. And it's immediately spent within 30 days. And that puts money right back into the pockets of the CoPirates, formerly called corporate. But there's some great corporate executives, and particularly here in Flat Rock and Hendersonville, which is where we're bringing a $40 billion company. And we don't have time to keep telling everyone and showing and mutually sharing everything. It's up to you to call us directly, ask us what we can do for you, which no one's asking you that now, and we'll show you how to be an independent, completely self-contained, self-sustainable ecology producer of raw materials and finished goods, and you're going to sell to the other producers. That'll be the biggest reduction in supply chain dynamics, which happen to be our senior college year thesis. Back in 1981, we're the most prolific inventors of the world. Pocket Bell, ICSTAN.org, TurnOffLights.com is really about 80 to 100 different patents. Solution Water is hydro cold water turbines. We reuse the infrastructure that's already been built. And if you build it right, you own it, you control it. That's locally owned civic centers, hospitals, malls, transportation systems, but particularly it's recreational areas, and everyone lives a great life. We call those people happy campers. And that includes the young people now become the new world leaders. And the only value of someone that's over 50 or 60 is a mentor, educator, and a spender, called serial entrepreneurship. Like one of my friends is Lino DeMonte, who's suffering like crazy down in the Philippines. And for 5 years, I'm teaching the Philippine people how to liberate Filipinos.org. And nobody's using Evote.one because realistically, everyone has been brainwashed. Do as you're told, be compliant. And if you get in trouble, you're going to be arrested and thrown in jail for as long as possible, because the criminals will pay off the judges and the lawyers, like Judge Raymond Asshold, I'm a minister, Asshold Jackson in Norfolk, Virginia, which is Norfolk, Virginia 411 CR 112, that was a complete paper chase conspiracy to get rid of me. And they literally spent 2 years trying to drug the hell out of me to make me a blubbering idiot fool. And I kept asking them, why am I here? Go call Jimmy Deal of Norcross, Georgia. Call Barry Victor Reynolds. In fact, call the FBI and the Attorney General. Call my congressman. We met a congressman representative today. And have me immediately released, so I can finally testify with you on who the warlords are. The people who violate absolute basic 10 commandments: do not steal, do not lie, do not hide, and do not recruit others. That's the spider web methodology, because they keep recruiting till all the food supply goes away. And that's exactly why World War IV, my website, worldwar4.org, is already near final completion. It's called the Dark Ages. They, which are criminals, usually your government officials, but really your corporate executives, are going to turn off the electricity. Can't pump water, can't pump gas, can't communicate, can't go to the bank, can't commerce. And the rich people are going to leave their homes, board them up, hire security guards, and they're going to escape to the mountains in their RVs and their little bunker boxes, thinking that when everything blows over, maybe there'll be something left of the mega cities. It'll be clear bombed. And that's the value of freenuclear.org. Here it is. Conversion to create fusion and fission reactors, thousands of small reactors in the mountain areas. And I'll go back to the basics. 5steps.life is God's generator. We even visited Pastor Karen today at Henderson First United Methodist Church. You can look her up, and we gave her a copy, the original master of solutionmanifesto.com, which is also God's Crusade. And you'll also find that it's also, well, there. This is one of my most prominent solutions is drkeith.org and solutionhousing.org. And you'll notice that we've already been talking directly to Brian Kemp. Every time we've gone back to the government to press the government, but really to motivate and press the people, I'm God sent. I was sent here 65 years ago on August the 15th, 1958. But it got so extreme on 1976 on my birthday when I go to NC State University, I'm gifting $40 billion of technology and patents and soon cash, more cash, back to your communities of greatest need. Does this not all make sense? I'm the #1 visionary. And of course, remember to go back to peacesummit2020.com and use keithsrulesoforder.com to host, mediate town hall forums. Everyone benefits forever. Working less, making more money. $1 buying power today will be $1 buying power 1,000 years from now. And DuncanClaim.org has already been filed, but every time we send it to Cobb County and Gwinnett County and any judge, they go, petition denied. I said, what? They even said all the defendants, they never talked to anyone, all the defendants deny all the allegations. They're not allegations, they're convictable documents of the Marietta Police Department report 11.1.11, excuse me, it's 1-11-2506, proves that Miss Bashama and Robert Rose physically robbed my home in Marietta of more than $40,000, but they really got all my database, which is the link to some of the most wealthy, smart people at hightechministries.org, ceospace.net. No, I hadn't joined ceospace.net yet, but it also involves National Speakers Association, nsaspeakers.org, and I was the #1 vendor member with icstand.org of nsageorgia.org. So this is a little bit long. It's now 18 minutes, but the whole focus for the entire world is go use and deploy Evote.one, which is God's crusade. And there's my contact information, a generic website of keithduncan.org. Have you noticed I'm not hiding anything? And not only did I do nothing wrong, I never violated anybody's rights my whole life. Most people can never say that. And with my system, restitution will go back to you, the victims. 1% comes through UNIocracy.org and Fortune1.org that used to be registered. CreatorKeith.com, still out there, and Built by Keith is the keyword. So we're coming up on 19 minutes, which is another keyword, G19. This has always been about you. Call us directly, protect us, and demand that we get put back on national news like we were back in 2011 with Condis Presley at WSB-TV. In fact, we were already ready to go internationally on everything because it solves every basic problem, Evote.one, with an open public database. So we get rid of the warlords and the people that are embezzling money, particularly Robert D. Rose, again at DuncanClaim.org. We put a $200 million bounty on his head, and you can do the same. It makes perfect sense. And then use my patents to build your own non-government organizations. Be independent. Free will thinkers, free will sovereign citizens of GodsCrusade.org, always called UNIocracy.org.